the city of Sarasota.
Mr. Vice Mayor, we have a special mural that once you see it, you never forget it. Talk about how the impact of this mural and why this is special.
Oh yeah, this mural has a lot of significance, particularly like right here in Rosemary, which was once Overtown, and this is, the area that Buck O'Neil laid his roots. When his family first moved to Sarasota, they were right here in Overtown before they moved on to Newtown. So this is where he learned how to play baseball, where he got his start.
To see this particular mural here and to know that there's more to come, how special is that? And it also is the key to the city.
Mm-hmm.
How big of a deal is that?
Oh, that was exceptional, and like I said, I'm honored just to be in the position, to basically bestow upon Buck O'Neil and his family, the key to the city, and give them a proclamation, and make the 24th of July Buck O'Neil Day. So that has a great deal of significance as well, and it's apropos that that we start with Buck O'Neil. Like I said, he laid his roots here. I mean, he went on to have an illustrious career in baseball. I mean, he had to overcome a number of obstacles and barriers, and this mural represents hope, So, like I said, it's only fitting that it be here in Rosemary.
We lost a icon from the world of basketball. We got baseball covered in Sarasota. When we think about Mr. William Felton Russell and his great days with the Boston Celtics, with them Chuck Taylors on,
Yeah.
unstoppable, more rings than fingers.
Yeah.
Take us into your thoughts of Bill Russell and why he's so important.
Man, I mean, you're talking about, pioneers, icons, like Bill Russell or Buck O'Neil or any of those guys, particularly in sports, man. I mean, you really can't sum it up, I mean, you can't find the words to sort of actually, express the full magnitude of what they meant, to the sport that they all played. Buck O'Neil in baseball, and particularly Bill Russell. I mean, he's the first African American coach, in basketball, and a player coach with 13 rings. I mean, we all think of Michael Jordan as the greatest player to ever play. But you talk about people like Bill Russell, man, and like we were just saying, playing the Chuck Taylors. I mean, we have the luxury of the technology that we have in the shoes that we wear now. I mean, those things were like paper thin, and to have those types of accomplishments and what he did and what he meant to humanity, it goes far beyond anything that he accomplished on the basketball court. The famous coalition that was formed between Bill Russell, Muhammad Ali, James Brown, and a number of other athletes from various sports that came along and helped sort of push through the civil rights movement. You can't sum that up, in words, and they did everything in deed, man. And these are the things that I try and express to our younger generation when I'm speaking to kids all the time. Everything comes down to character, and that's what these gentlemen represent. Bill Russell, Buck O'Neil. We just moved the Leonard Reed House. These were gentlemen of great dignity and great character, and that's the only way that you can go into this world and accomplish anything great. And just as with Buck O'Neil, I tell our kids and our youth that the world is just waiting for their greatness, and don't deny the world, don't deny us. More importantly, don't deny yourself. You have greatness within you, and it needs to be shared with the world. And we thank Mr. Buck O'Neil for what he shared with us, not only just in his talent, but what he did as a human being and as a humanitarian, along with Mr. William Russell. And my condolences and profound prayers go out to he and his family and all who look up to legends and icons, such as these great men. We stand on their shoulders. You know, we're here because of them.
It's like these guys are giants. It's like the bar that they set, the humanitarian effort, how they loved everybody,
Yeah.
and how great they were on the athletic field. In closing, are there any final comments as we think about Buck O'Neil, Mr. Russell, and this is beautiful. This will stand for Sarasota.
And just as I said, you know, at the beginning of this piece, this represents hope. You know, Mr. Bill Russell, Mr. Buck O'Neil, that's what these gentlemen were. I mean, they were our hope. You know, and you know, as I keep stating so aptly, what they meant not only to their sports but to humanity. You're talking about a time in which these gentlemen were playing, you know, when so many like obstacles were laid in front of them, and doors slammed in their face, but they never let that stop them. They never laid down, never capitulated or acquiesced to those obstacles, those barriers that lay before them. And that's what we need our children in this community and communities all over this great country, you know, to understand and to realize. I mean, for them to achieve the heights that they achieved in their sports, the amount of efforts that they made, and the ways that they paid for myself, yourself, and many of us to be here. As I said, you can't sum that up in words, you know. So I guess the sum of this piece is again hope. You know, I want our kids to know that they can be anything that they can be. If these gentlemen can overcome the things that they had to overcome in the times in which they had to overcome it, you can accomplish anything today, man. You know, and never ever use that as an excuse. You know, that someone else is stopping you. Like my mother always said to me, excuses only please those that make them. Make no excuses. He didn't make excuses. Mr. William Russell, Bill Russell, did not make excuses. They overcame, and that's why we're here today. And I thank them.
Sarasota has a rich baseball history. You've seen it over the years. The Orioles are right down the street. Cincinnati was here with Mr. Larkin and Mr. Griffey and so on and so forth. Michael Jordan was here. Bo Jackson. And you were able to see a lot of that history. Can you take us to any memories of this gentleman if you were able to see him or just his impact on this community?
Now, I myself personally didn't like have any like real, you know, I could say like influence where Buck O'Neil was concerned, except for the fact that my father loved baseball, and he spoke highly, you know, of Mr. Buck O'Neil. And I, you know, as a kid, I didn't really know who he was. It wasn't until, you know, I matured and got to read up on him and understand like who he was and what he meant to not only, you know, our city, but, you know, to the world. I mean, period. Especially breaking down racial barriers and things of that nature. So to have like I said, the Baltimore Orioles here. I mean, you'll be speaking to Mr. Jesse Grimes. He knows him. He knew him personally. You know, my father knew a lot of people in this community knew Buck O'Neil, and he had a great impact on their lives. And when Mr. Grimes is wearing, you know, a jersey that was given to him, he told me, and a hat. You know, so to this day, and hat doesn't look like he's been washed since then, but you know, but no, like I said, the impact is insurmountable, and it's invaluable. And like I said, I can like personally, you know, thank, you know, Mr. Buck O'Neil and Mr. Bill Russell and their families for giving them to us and lending them to us for the time in which they were here and the impact that they made, you know, in this country and Mr. Buck O'Neil in this city. You know, he paved the way for a lot of athletes, and not just. And let's make no mistake about it. This is not just about, you know, athletic prowess. This is about you accomplishing anything that you want to accomplish in life. It does not have to be about athletics. You know, he said those gentlemen. You will constantly hear them preach. A mind is a terrible thing to waste. You know, so we want our young kids to understand that. We just held a backpack giveaway up in Newtown yesterday, You know, we gave away 250 backpacks to deserving children in the community. And we're going to continue to push that initiative and get those backpacks up to say like 500 or so, because I want, kids in the community to be able to come and get backpacks or get school supplies like during the year, because they want, a lot of them probably missed the initiative yesterday. And when you have people such as Mr. Walter Gilbert, Mr. Anand Palagar, Ms. Julia Blum, that take the initiative to do such a thing, it's incredible. I want to talk to them at some point about the possibility of maybe naming some of these streets after the pioneers and whatnot. This is the first time you heard that. It may not even fly, but I'll be speaking to them about that, because we got to recognize our heroes, and that's what these gentlemen are, both men and women, heroes in our community.
Thank you so much, sir.
No, definitely,
Awesome.
definitely.
Awesome.